Hey guys, this is Eddie,
And this is PJ.
and you're listening to Mega Midnight Gaming, Episode 6. So what's going on, Peach?
Not a whole lot. Family's away, so it's just my brother and I chilling at the house.
Cool. You're watching Game of Thrones before
Yeah.
this
See,
home?
next week is season finale. And
Okay.
So this week is supposed to be the big episode with like the big battle and all that stuff between everybody. So I'm looking forward to that.
Awesome. I still have to catch up. I haven't seen any of it.
Oh my god, it's so good. You need to jump on that.
Yes.
But yeah, not a whole lot else. I mean, waiting for E3. That's in a week. Or well, it's in like a week and a half. But
Yeah.
so close. What about you, Ed?
Nothing much. My band did like a little mini tour this weekend, so we went up to Binghamton, which is upstate New York, played a show, slept there, and then came back home this morning. So,
Oh, nice.
but I slept a lot. My lead singer was driving, so I slept the 5-hour drive or 4-hour drive it was all the way back. I slept pretty well last night, so I'm actually more well-rested than usual after a tour, which is usually not how it goes.
Uh-huh.
So it's pretty cool. But it was just like a really mini tour, It was just going up there, and it was really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it was really fun, and yeah, I got a chance to play a little mobile game. I'll talk about that later. While I was on the road.
Nice. So yeah, I think we should head into our news.
Yes, definitely. Cool.
No, well, Fraps. I'm in the most backwards way to record a podcast ever. I'm using Fraps to record Skype, and we blipped out for a single second, and that scared the crap out of me.
Cool. Well, we got a little bit of news to talk about this week. Actually, more than usual, which is weird because it feels like nothing happened really this week. And then we went back to look at kind of the stuff we pointed out during the week, and we have a whole bunch. So I don't know.
And you're fading real now. The audio quality on your end is terrible. I
Yeah.
apologize to anyone listening. Hopefully it'll even out. Well,
Yeah.
because Skype dictates how the quality goes.
Yeah.
I don't think, because I recorded a whole minute and a half before we podcasted on Fraps, and the quality didn't dip once. So it's not Fraps.
Yeah.
But,
So
anyway.
hopefully it's all better.
So, sorry, I'm eating ice cream at the same time. We got, this year is the 25th anniversary of Street Fighter.
Yes. It's a big year for them.
And to honor that, Capcom is releasing a 25th anniversary collection.
Yes.
And the
It's
collection
huge.
is massive.
Yeah, it's absolutely gigantic.
It comes with, it'll be out on September 18th this year, and it comes with, let's see, it comes with 2 Blu-ray discs that hold, I believe it's 2 discs, yeah. That come with Super Street Fighter Turbo HD Remix, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike Online Edition, Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition with all the costume DLC, and Street Fighter Cross Tekken, including all character and costume DLC.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's a 2-disc documentary that highlights the profound influence the franchise has had on fans and vice versa throughout the years. The collection of videos also includes all of the anime movies that have ever come out. There's a light up Ryu statue. There is a 11-disc soundtrack spanning 25 years of music. In addition to remixes and fan-created music inspired by past Street Fighter games, fan-created music, yeah. 64-page art book, a certificate of authenticity, and then Ryu's belt.
Wow. That's a lot of stuff.
And it's only $150.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, I actually thought it was going to be a lot more expensive.
Yeah.
That's really cool. That's really, really cool. So Street Fighter fans love this kind of stuff. Like, I imagine, like I'm the fan of some things. Like some franchises, I am, like, a fan like that. Like World of Warcraft, even though Blizzard is, like, my worst enemy sometimes, I am, like, a fan with WoW a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. But even some of this stuff in here, I'd be like, why the hell would I want that? But Street Fighter fans are a very specific breed of people. They love Street Fighter.
Yes.
They love it so much.
They really do.
So, yeah, I'm looking at the picture of it now, of all the stuff that comes in. It just looks like there's more than 150 items here. I can't believe it's $150. I really can't. It's so cool. The Ryu's belt. The statue looks awesome, and it lights up.
That's actually the most useless item.
It is the most useless item, and but it's so weird because it's something so unique, to throw in there that it just makes people. I feel like it pushes it over the edge a little bit to be like, wow, that's really, really weird and cool at the same time. So that's awesome. The box itself looks sick too. Just really, really cool. Everything looks cool. I like it. If you're a Street Fighter fan, that is...
I might grab
awesome,
it. Maybe I'll get it as a Christmas gift or something.
Yeah, I've never been into Street Fighter, and this is probably a kind of a cool way to get into it. Kind of cheaply. I mean, 150 is kind of cheap for all of that
I know,
stuff.
It sounds like a $250 type thing, Like, it would just be
definitely,
outrageously expensive.
Definitely. Yeah, I thought it was definitely going to be at least, $253. So that's a lot less than I thought. That's awesome. So very cool. That's something that people can really look forward to. That's sick.
Yeah.
Then you had one, right? That's this I actually know nothing about.
Oh, Zone of the Enders 3?
Yeah.
I don't really know anything about it either because I never played the first two. There's an HD collection of the first two coming out, I think, at the end of the year. And so people have always wanted a third one, and so finally at some press conference in Japan, Hideo Kojima announced the third one. And Kojima's famous for many things, but mostly Metal Gear, and stuff. And so he finally announced that it was coming. They only have one piece of concept art, so it's very early in development, or that's all they showed. But if they're only at the conceptual stage, then it won't be for a couple of years before it comes out.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean, it's very
pretty good to know that it's in the works
among its fans.
Yeah,
it's more of like a cult following type thing, but I figured it's just worth mentioning because people were flipping out when it was announced.
Yeah, I never played any of those, but it's really cool. I never played any in the series, but the HD series sounds like something maybe to pick up if you're not familiar with the of the first and second.
Yeah. So
that seems kind of cool. Maybe I'll look into that so that I can get on board with the third one. I like the companies that are doing that now. Even with Silent Hill Downpour, which was kind of a disappointing game, but I like that they released the HD series of 2 and 3 just to get you in there so that if you're a little behind, you can catch up. That was really cool. Really, really cool. So I like that this is catching on.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a good trend in video gaming that I'm really enjoying. Because it's like such a deal. I don't know why. I forget how much. I think it was $30. The Silent Hill series.
When it first came out, it was $50.
Really? Maybe I got it used or something, but like $30 for 2 awesome games in HD. Like, it was really cool. I was so into that.
Oh, definitely.
I was like, man, such an affordable way to play both these games. I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah, and then they did it with like Sly Cooper, the first 3 games for like $40. And they did it with Metal Gear. Actually, they did 2, 3, and Peace Walker, all in one collection for $50. I mean, even if it's $50, you're getting 3 full games.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. So really cool. Zone of the Enders. And then we had another one.
We got Marvel Heroes.
Marvel.
Which is basically Diablo, but with Marvel superheroes.
Yes, and it's going to be MMO,
yes,
which is
free-to-play MMO.
You know, that's my thing.
It's
I
top
love
down.
MMOs.
It's not like WoW. It's literally if Diablo were an MMO.
Yeah.
And you can play as all the Marvel characters. I was really interested in it until I got to the bottom of the article, and it was like, you know how gear is the biggest part of Diablo-type games? And I was like, yeah. They were like, so you get gear, but it doesn't customize your outward appearance.
Oh.
Like, what? They were like, yeah, if you want to change your appearance, you basically have to craft different... like, the gear will affect stats, but it will not change your outward appearance. It will...
Yeah.
The only way you can do that is by crafting, like, official comic book costumes in the game.
Ugh. I see, that's one thing I can't stand in these MMOs, because you work so hard for your gear in MMOs. You really do. You grind for it. You do dungeons. You put up with pugs for it. You really do a lot of work to get your gear. And then when there's no outward sign of it, I do totally understand why they can't do that. But
I was hoping I could create like my own costume for the character or something with my gear, and it would be like unique and stuff. Because in that case, I wonder how is there just going to be a million people with the same costume? It'll just be like a million Iron Mans in the regular armor just running around, you know, like.
Yeah, I feel like that alone is enough to make people stop playing. I really do. I feel like looks, when it comes to games, looks is such a huge part. And I know something disappointing for me in World of Warcraft a lot of times was I'd walk into Ironforge or whatever with my gear on, and there'd be like 3 or 4 other people with the exact same gear on. Back when they started making gear a little easier to get, or even where now they have the hard mode and the normal mode and the pug mode, the Raid Finder gear, it all looks the same. So it's basically like this. The gear all looks the same. It changes colors, but I'm telling you, if you looked quick, you wouldn't even notice. And it's 3 sets of gear with very different stats that all look identical. And it used to be painful because you would work so hard for that hard mode gear, and then there's a guy running around in Raid Finder gear that looks exactly like you, and it's just like,
it looks like that.
It's like, come on.
There's nothing to show for your work.
Exactly. And I feel like that's going to be the feeling people have running around next to an Iron Man who's level 1 and you looking the same, like just having the same stuff. I do understand that would be a huge undertaking to make the gear unique and different for the characters. I do totally get that. But also, I'm kind of disappointed that there's no character creation. I don't know. I understand that they've done that. That's been done. You know, City of Heroes, City of Villains. You make your own superhero. Blah 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 blah. But yeah, and Freedom Force. Yeah. That's an old one. That's an awesome one though. That one was like, I feel like that one was maybe kind of the first. Kind of.
Maybe. I don't know. It was a very long time ago, so it might have been.
It was. Yeah. For that superhero creation, customization stuff. But whatever. It's not that kind of game. But it's cool. It's cool. I was kind of really into the idea until that. Yeah, me
too. I was like, oh man, this is going to be awesome.
Such a turn-off.
Yeah. The gear won't affect your appearance outwardly. I was like, nope. I'm done.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm going to probably have to see. The gameplay would have to be really good. Like, I'd have to be floored by the gameplay videos, and then I'll be okay, maybe.
It's free, so it doesn't hurt to try it.
It is. Yeah. So you don't even have to do the one-time payment. Oh, yeah, then I will try it. But yeah, then I will try it. I'm pretty cheap, so that's good. But cool. Awesome. So, free MMOs, there's nothing wrong with that.
So you're telling me about these layoffs at BioWare?
Yes. So we had a bunch of layoffs on the actual Star Wars team doing the Old Republic. So I thought this was kind of interesting because Star Wars: The Old Republic definitely didn't get the response that the hype was. I feel like the hype was so high. Like, you thought this game was going to be the WoW killer. I really did. And then, of course, like all the other WoW killers, it didn't really happen. But with Star Wars: The Old Republic, they started doing these patches. If anybody's a longtime listener of the show, that you've heard like me and PJ talk about our impressions of the new patches at PAX. Then they put the new patches in. Then I bought the game. And I started playing because I loved what they did. I loved the changes they did to starting zones. I loved the way they changed what level you get certain spells like Sprint. Everything just flowed really naturally. I didn't feel I needed certain abilities until I got them, and then it opened up the doorway for me to do a bunch of more things. It was really cool. I liked the game. I stopped playing it because it started to get really repetitive.
But okay, so my question about the repetition though is that it's basically WoW with Star Wars, and how
it is.
WoW, why is WoW not repetitive?
I feel like WoW is repetitive, but if you really read the quests and you get into the why you're doing what you're doing in World of Warcraft, that always captured me. I don't know. I'm a guy who has the Lore Master title in World of Warcraft, which basically means that I did every single quest in the game at one point or another. And so, like, I am really interested in the questing in World of Warcraft, but I always felt like it was a little bit more, you're saving this, you're doing that, you're going with the dragons that are in like the lore books and doing something. This was the Star Wars: The Old Republic definitely reminded me of World of Warcraft, in good ways and negative ways. There were some things in WoW, repetitive wise, that I just put up with, to play it because I liked it. Those things were in Star Wars: The Old Republic, and then some of the things I liked weren't, which they're not trying to make the same game. But my main problem was you would go through these planets, basically the same way you have zones in a lot of MMOs, but I'll just use WoW. Zones in WoW where you're going to go into, you're going to level in the Barrens from, 15 to 25. I haven't played a Horde in forever, so I don't know. That's probably not right. But you know how that works. So you level in this zone for this amount. It's just like that, except instead of zones, it's planets.
Yes.
Which is really cool to me. You get your own spaceship. You can add to the ship. It was really cool. It didn't have like the APB customization that you could do to it, but it was still cool. Yeah. It didn't have like you could actually customize it. It really didn't ever look different, but it was cool to have your own ship and fly around freely. It really felt almost like a free player. But the repetitiveness came in what you were doing on each planet. You would get to a planet. You'd find out a little backstory that was different, which was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. That's cool. That one of them was a planet that got taken over, destroyed, and rebuilt. Kind of cool. They started doing some more repetitive things that just eventually are just like, really? Again? Like, are you kidding? There's a couple points. I mean, you go to one planet and they'd say, some bandits took over the sector, go in and clear out those bandits. You'd clear out the bandits, come back to the guy. The next quest would be some bandits took over this sector, go to that one and clear it out. And you
but
go
how
there.
is that different than going to kill, like, bear cats and collecting pelts and stuff in the beginning of the game?
It's true. It is really similar. My surprise was the beginning of the game is where you had a lot of variety. And mid-game, where most games feel most grindy, I feel in World of Warcraft it's grindy in the beginning. But it's kind of cool because you're mindlessly trying to learn the game in the very beginning, or your class in the very beginning. So the fact that the quests are mindless kind of is okay. And then you ease into the mid-game, and then it's like, oh, Sentinel Hill was taken over, there's all these people here, you got to go into the dead mines and figure out who the traitor is, and it's just really like, oh man, this is getting kind of thick, the storyline. The Star Wars: The Old Republic, I felt the opposite. The storyline in the beginning, I was like, this is the best game I've ever played in my life. The storyline is so good in the beginning, and you're training, and like, you have to save your master, and there's really cool stuff. It's almost like, I don't even want to say too much because I don't want to spoil it if anybody's going to play it. because the ending to the beginning storyline is amazing. It's so good. It's so good. So, like, I loved it. I really, really, really loved it. It was almost like I was playing a movie, which I know what they were going for. But then we hit mid-game, and it was just like, I can't believe this. Like, where did it go? What happened? And then I started getting levels slower. So it was like, oh, come on. Like, when can I level here? And then that on top of not being so interested in what you're doing, really just like, I was just like, oh, okay, finals week is coming, let me cancel this for now. And I haven't started it since, but I don't know if that's the problem with Star Wars. I was really, really looking forward to it when we actually played it at PAX. I really enjoyed the beginning of it. But now it seems like they've run into a little bit of trouble, and they're having pretty intense layoffs.
Real quick, we need to take a break real fast. Okay, I don't mean
yeah, that's fine.
I need to check something.
Hey,
sorry, we'll keep that. Yeah, sorry about that.
We'll keep that. Cut and printed.
We had to check the audio equipment because I was looking at something and something looked like it was flipping out. So, wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to lose the entire podcast to an audio glitch. So I figured stop it now, see what we got. But yeah, everything's good. It's all good.
Yeah.
So we were talking about Tor. And how they're laying off people. I don't think this is as big a deal as everyone is making it out to be, because Tor was a huge project, right? Massive, writers, coders, programmers, artists, blah, 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 Q&A testers. I imagine that a lot of these people that were laid off were just contractors, like standard people that once a project has gotten going, the regular staff at BioWare can handle it, and they don't need these extra people that they bring in during, like, crunch times and stuff.
Yeah, that does definitely make sense.
I mean, granted, Tor is not doing amazing and has about half as many subscribers as it needs to be profitable. But I imagine that by the end of the year, Star Wars will be free to play.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that definitely. If it is free to play, I will play it.
Yeah,
that seems to be my motto lately.
I
free
will
to play,
too.
I will do it. Yeah.
I love. Because I like the game, I just don't want to pay for it.
It's the same thing with me. I really would be max level now if I didn't have to pay for the game. But the fact of the matter is, I wasn't enjoying it enough to justify me throwing that money out of my wallet every single month. I just couldn't do it. Like, there's so many other things, and I made the commitment to be playing WoW for the next year. So, to get Diablo for free, pay for WoW for a year. So, I can't be paying for two at once if it's not super worth it. So that was my thoughts on it. Really interesting thing. I think people are reading too much into it, though. But I always felt like when MMOs go free to play, as much as I like when they do, it's always like a sign of like, meh, it's just another free MMO.
Yeah.
You throw it in that Dungeons and Dragons online category and you never look at it again. But, I actually, this is the first time I've heard, hey, this MMO is going to go free, and where I'm like, oh, hell yeah. They're going to go way up. if that happens. Because I feel like so many people have the game, they made the one-time payment, and they want to play it, but they don't want to pay monthly for it anymore.
Yeah.
Everyone I talk to has bought it when it first came out and doesn't play it anymore. They don't pay for it anymore, which means Star Wars is not making money anymore. So, cool. Kind of interesting. Well, I guess not, like, cool, like,
no.
awesome. But, you know, it sucks for the people that lost their jobs
to
and
debate
stuff.
about, though, for sure.
But, yeah, it's definitely interesting to check out what's going on there. But a similar story from 38 Studios, right?
Similar and in a way more extreme sense. So, yeah.
Yeah.
To do the whole, from what everyone knows and everything that I've read, 38 Studios is a studio from Curt Schilling, who used to be an old Red Sox pitcher, and he loved EverQuest, like he was obsessed with it.
Yes.
And he wanted to make a game, like a really expansive RPG that was similar to EverQuest, right? So when he retired from baseball and he had all this money, he founded 38 Studios, originally in Massachusetts. And then the government of Rhode Island contacted them and was like, hey, how about we give you all this money and you come down here and, like, create jobs for us? And they were like, yeah, sure, why not? Which is pointless in the first place because they already had the studio with all the people from Massachusetts, and all they did was move down to Rhode Island, giving no one in Rhode Island more jobs. Like, that made no sense in the first place. But anyways, so there was some deals between, like, the governor of Rhode Island and Schilling Studio and whatnot, right? So they make this game, Aumler, and it's supposed to... Or no, they bought Big Huge Studios. 38 bought Big Huge Studios, and they were working on...
I remember Big Huge Studios. I remember laughing at that name when I was a little kid.
Yeah. And they were working on some RPG thing, and so they just took that game and made it into Aumler, basically. And they released Aumler in February, and it was great. Critical acclaim, great, really good reviews. It sold, for a new IP, it sold 1.2 million copies, which is really good for a new series, or for the first game of a new franchise, right? And then a couple days later, about on Thursday, everyone gets a notice that they're fired. Like, the entire company.
That's crazy.
And basically what has come from this is that in the deal, like, Rhode Island gave them so much money that they defaulted on the loans. Like, they couldn't pay Rhode Island the money back. And in order for them to have done so, Aumler would have sold, would have had to have sold 3 million. I was going to say 300 million. That's impossible. 3 million copies. And it sold less than half that, which is still good, though, for a new IP, but obviously not nearly as much as they needed to. And there was some weird stuff as to whether, like, Curt Schilling, like, kept some of the money for himself and, like, didn't use it to pay back the loan and all this stuff, which makes sense because he's, I don't know, I'm a cynic, so I would just assume that. Well, he's a rich bigwig. He spent all that money to build the studio, and he wants to make sure he didn't actually lose anything on it.
Yeah.
And all that stuff, and so, it was awful. Like, everyone just woke up this morning and was like, hey, by the way, you no longer have a job here. Like, okay, firing is the wrong word, I suppose. They laid off everybody. There is a difference. So, they laid off the entire staff. Like, I follow a couple of people on Twitter who used to work for IGN that were at 38 Studios that were just like, well, that happened.
Yeah. That's a shame to see that happen to a company like that. It's
ridiculous. But thankfully, one of the cool things that came of this was, like, every so often you see the industry, like, come together to help people out. And so there was this Google Doc that somebody created of all the studios that were hiring and stuff, and they passed it around to all these people so that way they could get jobs and stuff and not have to be, like, worried about their financial situation. And stuff like that. So I thought that was pretty cool. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know what happened, like, why no one... And apparently, like, people at the studio hadn't been paid for, like, a month already. Their houses that were supposed to have been sold for them by the company in Massachusetts didn't get sold, and now mortgage companies are asking the original owners
Oh
where
my
their money
God.
is and stuff like that.
Oh, what a
It's
mess! What? Yeah. Wow. I guess you never know. You just gotta. Oof. That's awful. Everybody's in like a whole mess there. That just sounds like a total like.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm trying not to curse because because so far I'm pretty proud of us. We've kept a G rating on our.
I don't know if that's necessarily true, but it might be. I don't honestly remember.
Maybe not.
But yeah, it's.
That sounds messed up though. That's pretty bad. That's really bad.
Hopefully, everyone will get back on their feet, and everyone, and it's terrible. But yeah, I think. I don't think. I hope that all the people who work there find jobs and whatnot, and don't have to freak out about not being able to pay the bills, because that would be terrible.
Yeah.
One of the biggest pieces of news that I forgot to put on this list is that there was all these details about Bungie's new game leaked earlier this week.
I didn't even know about this.
Well, because you know about that whole lawsuit that's going on between the creators of Call of Duty and Activision, right? Okay, so because of that, this week all of Activision's company documents from 2010 had to be made public. And 2010 was when Bungie left Microsoft and signed a deal with Activision for their publishing deal. And in the contract has all these details about what kind of game they're going for. And stuff like that. It's basically the series codenamed Destiny. That's like a sci-fi MMO shooter thing. That's mostly supposed to be console-based. And it's supposed to the first game is supposed to launch in 2013, and will run 4 games every 2 years in 2015, 17, and 19. And it also includes like 4 mini expansions that come out on the even years. So 14, 16, 18, and 20. And the first game is like a timed Xbox 360 exclusive or Xbox 720. It basically says it will be a timed exclusive on whichever console Microsoft is using at the time of release. Okay. And then the rest of and then will come out on PS3 and PC. And then the last 3 games in the series will all come out on every console at the same time. It's interesting. There's not many more details than that. A lot of it's confusing and stuff because, it's just like all legal nonsense and stuff. Like there's some weird stuff in there like Bungie can only dedicate 5% of its staff to a remake of Marathon or a new Marathon game. I don't remember which it was. And then they have to give a document of like all the Easter eggs that they're putting in the new game and like clear it with Activision first and stuff like that. Like weird ass stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting stuff. Hopefully they'll show some stuff at E3. We'll get to see what their new game is all about. Yeah. That's basically it for news and stuff. I don't really have anything else.
Yeah, that's all I can think of.
So let's you were teasing a mobile game thing earlier before. You wanna move into that?
Yes. Oh, so like I said, I was on the road a little bit this weekend, and I actually got this game probably a little before then because I know. Probably right before finals week. It's been out a lot longer than I thought. I thought I got it right when it first was released, but it looks like it's been released for a while. I got it on some kind of promo deal. It's like $2 now, but it's an iPhone game. And it is Castle Wolfenstein in 3D for the iPhone. I know it's weird that I'm reviewing an iPhone game, but it really is something that I played a lot. I played it a lot, and it's awesome. So I figured I'd review it. I know as gamers, like, one of the big things that we like to do is be able to jump on our phone and game a little bit here and there, like when we're at work or commuting or something like that.
Yeah, especially when we're at work.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, let me try this out. It's a really cool game. Not what I expected at all. Definitely really different than what I expected. They kind of took the classic game that we all kind of know and love and totally redid the visual on it. Really stuck true to the whole 3D thing, you know, rounding out everything and shading everything. Whoever took this on, I actually didn't look at who the developers of it. Whoever took this on really, really paid attention to all of that. The game looks awesome. For the iPhone, probably some of the cleanest graphics I've seen on games, and I've played Infinity Blade and all that. And those are cool, but the graphics just, they almost look like a little too detailed for the iPhone. They're so simple with detail in just the right places, and the shading is so nice. It really is cool. My only thing is that those old-timey graphics, even with all the enhancements, they started to like hurt my eyes staring at my phone. Maybe it's because it would definitely be a lot better on an iPad. And the iPhone, I'm kind of like staring at the small screen, like jumping around, shooting and stuff, and it just gets me like dizzy. But it's a really cool game. I played through. I'm not quite done with it yet, but I've been playing it a lot, and it sticks really true to the series. The aiming is perfect. So for people who don't know about the Castle Wolfenstein series, basically it's like Nazi Germany, and you're there, and you're basically just fighting Nazis the whole game. That's basically the whole game, and you're stuck in this place called Castle Wolfenstein, and you're a prisoner there, and I don't know, you walk up to the door and it opens and you have a gun for some reason. So now you're free, and so you go around just shooting everything. So the sound is really cool because it's just a classic, you know, each type of mob, each type of enemy has the same one-liner, like German word they say when they see you. You know, it's really funny. You know, the guys that are wearing the brown uniforms are like "Team Bergen" as they see you, and like the guys with the gray uniform say something else. Like it's funny. It's really funny and kind of real classic feel, but with that modern style, which is awesome. I was really, really, really worried, as I am every time I play an iPhone shooter, about the XY axis and moving around and shooting. Drives me insane with these games. I've played a lot of games where they have a Y axis where you can look up and look down, and I'm just like, whoa! Like whenever I'm doing it, I'm always just all over trying to shoot, and it drives me nuts. So in this game, it's just X-axis. You can just move sideways. Sideways left, sideways right, and if you go forward, you walk forward. If you go back, you walk backwards. So the directional pad is also your aiming. The right side, you're just hitting to shoot, which made aiming a hell of a lot easier. Also, the aim is very liberal. They're not like killers with the aim. They're not going to absolutely kill you on the aim because there's some long shots you have to make, and on the iPhone, there's no adjusting the sensitivity and all that. You know, it is what it is. So I was able to really like land far shots without much of a problem and without it being easy. There's definitely like a little bit of, you know, you're paying attention, you're getting used to it, and it wasn't like it wasn't challenging. The game's very challenging, especially if you want to end the match with everything. Like you want to have all your achievements done for the match. You can find like secret rooms. You know, you can find like gold. If you get all the gold and all the secret rooms, if you're going for that, the game's actually really, really hard. Because you'll be looking up against the wall to see if there's a secret room. Somebody, it only takes a few shots, and you're done, and you have to start the whole level over again. There's no checkpoints whatsoever. So it's really cool. Has that classic like Doom kind of feel to it. People might be more familiar with that title. Really, really fun. I thought it was great on the iPhone. The aiming, I swear, I thought I knew I was going to do this the second I downloaded the game. I knew I was going to do it as a review at some point. But I really was ready to rip into the aiming. I was like, I know the aiming is going to be terrible. But it wasn't. The aiming was so good. The aiming was probably one of the best parts of it. Getting caught, the movement was a little weird. You'd get caught on walls here and there. It's kind of frustrating, but nothing that would cost you a game. Like, you wouldn't die. If there's a wall where that you can't shoot through, they're not shooting through it either, so you're not going to die from it. It's just kind of like those little things when you're clipping a corner and you just kind of bump it there. But, I don't know if it's just me, but my eyes really were, like, dying. The way that the 3D was, I love the way it looks, but it was giving me a headache. I don't know, a couple times. Not every time I play it. Like, I played it once, I had, like, a 3-hour break from class, and I was sitting there playing it. And I think after, like, 2 hours, my eyes were killing me. So, but like I said, I think it's because I have the tiny screen.
Really,
you know, and especially a lot of it's long shots. So you're focusing on this guy that's like down a hallway, and it's really cool though. It's a sick game. I just noticed that they released, I think it's Castle Wolfenstein 3. I don't think they just released it. It's been out. But Castle Wolfenstein 3 is on there also. I have not played that one yet. I have not bought it yet, but the graphics look even better. It looks like they did the exact same thing to Castle Wolfenstein 3 and just redid some of the graphics to make it a little bit more appealing. And there you go. You're playing a classic game on your phone without having to buy a classic system.
Nice.
And all that. Pretty cool, yeah. So I would say check it out. Definitely check it out. It's really, really fun. I do like it a lot. I haven't played it in a while, but played it a little bit this weekend, but I haven't played it at all today.
All right, cool.
So I gotta get back on it.
Nice.
But that's mine. What's yours this week, Peach?
It's literally the only new as in the one that I haven't ever played before, that I played this week, because I've just been burning the midnight oil on StarCraft and Diablo.
Yes.
You know, so I mean, Red Orchestra 2 is like a super realistic World War II shooter. I never wound up playing realism mode because apparently when they had a free weekend on Steam, and the free weekend was with like an expansion pack that came with action and classic modes, and so I wound up playing action mode because the game is not.
Oh, cool.
The game is really good because it's gotten great reviews, but the online community is like 600 players.
Oh wow.
So, you know, it took me forever to find a server, but I did eventually, and and it was in action mode, and it was fun. I played the sniper class. I killed my teammates like 3 times because there's no markers. You know, like in real war, you know, there's no markers telling you, hey, this is your teammate, don't shoot him. You just sort of fire and take a guess. I totally sniped my teammate in the face in the beginning of the match. It's ridiculous. There's actually a video up. It's called Learn to Play, Red Orchestra 2, in quotes. That's like the pilot episode of the concept of that show. My hope is to actually do a little bit more educating. Well, as I learn, I will explain what I am learning. But with Red Orchestra 2, I recorded it at like 3 in the morning. And I was just like, why the hell not, you know? But the other one should be better. I mean, yeah, that's not really a pick. It's just me talking. But I'm tired, so whatever. Yeah, that's basically it. As usual, Diablo footage will keep going up. I just released like 4 hours of Demon Hunter footage on Friday. There will definitely be more as that Monk footage goes up tomorrow. Tomorrow's Monday.
Yes.
Eddie is planning on doing he's going to start casting League of Legends games.
Yeah, so there's actually 2 things I wanted to do. One of them I actually forgot to mention to PJ.
So we're all learning.
So PJ, yeah. One, I'm really, really excited to announce that I'm going to start doing League of Legends. Everybody knows League of Legends is my game. I'm okay at it. And, like, I'm really into it. I mean, some of those pro players make me look stupid, but I feel like I know what I'm doing at the game. I've been playing it religiously for like the past year. So I'm thinking every Wednesday I'll be uploading a video. Don't kill me if this week's is late, because I've never uploaded onto YouTube before, so I'm going to try.
Hopefully before you leave, because if it's not up on Wednesday, then you're SOL this week because you're coming down to Virginia on Thursday.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So I really do need it on Wednesday. So I will. I will have it for you on Wednesday, I promise. And it's going to be just me playing competitively League of Legends, ranked games. I'm a really low elo right now, because what I kind of did was I messed up my elo back sometime in the very beginning of Season 2, and I haven't really done elo matches too much since. So you guys will see me start to raise the elo a little bit. But I also would like to throw in, I'm not sure which day of the week yet, but kind of what PJ's doing, the Learn to Play, but it's going to be specific League of Legends for
That's cool.
specific characters.
Teach people how to play different champions.
Yeah. Exactly, and what I'm really going to do is use a lot of replay footage of mine with me just commentating over it. So just little things you could do that maybe even if you are experienced with the character, you never noticed before. Some of my characters, I really have put a lot of time into learning the real strategy and math behind why I'm doing what I'm doing at the times I'm doing it. So I feel like it'll be really interesting maybe for some people, even if you're debating, do I want to get this champion or this champion? IP is a precious thing in this game. You know, and you know, you don't come by it too quickly. So, you know, do you want to get the new guy Darius, or do you really want to jump and get somebody else? You know, I'll help you out with that. You know, really show you what type of characters they all are. The other page, the other uploads, I wanted to stay more away from that and just talk about the matches itself, rather than the specific characters. So, that'll be up. The specific character one will not be up this week because I'm going to Virginia. But Wednesday, I will definitely have a video up of me playing some League.
All right.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah, that's about it. I remember last week I mentioned something about doing some Skyrim mod stuff. I'm not doing that because that mod is ridiculously hard, and I'm not high enough level to tackle it. So it'll just be a video of me dying the whole time, and that's no fun. So yeah, there'll just continue to be Diablo footage. Max Payne footage should be coming shortly, because it comes out on PC on Tuesday. So I'm going to try and buy it. We'll see how that goes. And then...
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I need to get that for...
so we can do some multiplayer stuff.
For PC. I mean... Yes, I'm going to do that. I promise.
If you don't do it this week, that's cool, because you're going down to Virginia, obviously. But... I won't say expect that this week, but expect it soon. That's all I got so far. More Learn to Plays. I think the next game I'm going to try learning is Super Monday Night Combat, because it's free to play and it's like a really weird League of Legends type game. It's a MOBA, so I'm going to go mess around with that. I might do Dota 2, because I love Dota.
Yeah.
That's about it. So check out the Facebook page. Mega Midnight Gaming / Facebook.com/Mega Midnight Gaming.
Yes, that would be really cool. We definitely want some more followers on there. I know we have some people who actually do follow our YouTube, and we're super appreciative. That's awesome.
Please subscribe.
Yes. Yeah. Make sure you subscribe. I know we have people who search for our videos regularly, because I noticed from the comments people talk about PJ and stuff. They like it because PJ's the one uploading all this.
The exception, every single video that has gone on the channel so far. Well, hopefully when you come down, we do a quick tutorial on how to do all that stuff. It's really simple.
Definitely. Yeah. But make sure you subscribe. I'm really happy that people search for us and watch our videos. It's awesome. Just make sure you subscribe. It makes it easier for you to find us, and then makes it easier for us to get the stuff out to you.
No Fun Day Monday again this week, because the Red Bull LAN was going on. And by the time this goes up on Monday, you guys, it will have been over. And MC will have won the championship. Spoilers. Not that you got to see the game, because from what I heard, the stream cracked out in the final game. But yeah. So hopefully we'll start that back up next week. We'll see. Yeah, that's it. Check me out at Twitter, Peter_Freeman. I swear to God, when Eddie comes down on Virginia, by the time he leaves, he's going to have a Twitter account. And you'll be able to follow him. That is about
I'll post fun stuff.
it. Unless you got anything left to say, Ed.
Cool. No, that's all. Thank you guys for listening. This is episode 6 again. We'll have episode 7 coming to you guys from Virginia.
So make sure you leave us some questions in the comments or on the Facebook page, or hit me up at Twitter. And things like topics you want us to spend some time on more than others, or just questions, maybe predictions you have, and we can discuss those and whatnot. All right, so see you guys later.
Cool. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you guys. Peace.
Killer. Zed's dead. Good.